for me, at a point, I decided not to listen to motivational speakers anymore. For me, at a point, I decided not to listen to them anymore. Why? Because one time I went for such motivational programs, and then after the whole session, they were selling a leaflet. It was just 2 or 3 pages for 10 cedis. And so I bought one. I don't know what happened. Out of curiosity, I just decided to type the same thing in Google. Oh, what's the guy? So the main heading, I typed it in Google. And 501 speeches came. And so I was just cutting the page, join and dejoin, like that. Because I realized that no, all these people that I'm listening to have not really done anything for themselves. They've just found a loophole in the system that says that there are a lot of unemployed graduates, there are lots of people who are dissatisfied, and so they come up with very nice and presentable speeches, and then ask you to pay 5 cents to come and sit down in the auditorium and listen. The reason why I decided to join the team, or decided to be part of today's program, was that I realized that every speaker that we have on bill is somebody who has put his or her hand on something, failed at it, succeeded at it, failed again, learned from it, and succeeded from it, and now have empires that recruit and employ people in hundreds. And so these are people who have done it, not people who are telling you that if you do it this way, it will succeed, once they've not done it that way. So if I tell you that if you lose 20 bags or 50 bags of maize, don't cry, what I mean to tell you is that I have lost it before, and this is how I overcame it. If I tell you that, oh, your course doesn't really matter, you can do this even though you've done this course, you are listening to it because there's somebody who has done it and has decided to say that, no, this is where my passion is. We always listen to follow your passion, but we find small people who have really followed their passion. This is an example of somebody who has followed the passion through and through and has done it. For me, trust me, if I had the slightest of brain to do biomedical science, trust me, I'll be in Hollywood. I will never do it. I'm not going anywhere. What? In this small system, would you agree with me? Aha, but somebody has done this and saying that no, there's passion somewhere. And so I need to follow that passion. And passion has paid. And so all the speakers that we have are the same. Our next speaker is not different from the ones that have spoken. And she's going to take us through how to market, brand your business on social media. So we've looked at how, from the beginning, how to pitch for the business. And so they've told us how to pitch, what to do, and what not to do when you're going to pitch for the business. And then Reverend also came in to give us some ethics on how to go through the business line. Our next speaker is going to take us on how to market or brand our business on social media. You all agree with me that social media is now the new wave, and now a lot of people are there. We have a lot of traffic there than we have before. So if you want really to grow your business, that's one of the areas you should be looking at. So Danielle Mitchell, okay, is an American and international marketing strategist. Okay, I know she didn't know what I said, but I'll tell her later. And founder of Average Black Girl. At Average Black Girl, the mission is to create more black millionaires through marketing, web design, product management, and securing partnerships. Connected with Average Black Girl is her partner brand called Milani Business. MilaniBusiness.com is a free global business directory that is free to sign up, add a business, and leave a review. I think I'll be interested in this. So Daniela is also a freestyle, is a lifestyle and a fashion blogger. I think when she comes, you would understand that she's really a fashion blogger. So Daniela has previous experiences with working with big box brands such as L'Oreal, or one of my people. Okay, Coca-Cola, worked in the sales and marketing department. Her expertise lies in marketing strategies as well as voyaging, traveling, and seizing the moments to find partnerships in every opportunity. So Reverend was not wrong that they didn't just come here, but they came to find some sort of opportunity. So Danielle graduated from the University of Illinois, America, at okay, so it's Champaign-Urbana. Okay, with a double major in marketing and management from the College of Business. She's also completed the Harvard Business School HBX core reading programs. With a hands of applause, let's welcome Danielle.
I first want to thank Charles for putting together this wonderful conference and putting us all together. So before I get started, I just want to know who my audience is. So by a show of hands, how many people actually already have a business? Okay, and how many people are interested in starting a business? Okay, and how many people are just here for personal branding or networking? All right, cool. So the mission and vision is within being a Black-owned business, right? We have a lot of different stereotypes and things that a lot of other people don't deal with. So first, one of the things that we deal with is because your business is Black-owned, a lot of people think that your business is just for Black people. Another issue is that a lot of times people think that there is something wrong with your business. You are stereotypically not going to be as well as your other counterparts. Well, I'm here to tell you some of the tools and tips so that you kind of bypass a lot of the issues that a lot of businesses have when starting out. So my name is Danielle Mitchell, and I'm an international strategist with Average Black Girl. And what we do 3 things very well. And remember 3 because I'm going to start asking you guys what are the 3 things that you guys are going to be doing very well as well. So we do web design, marketing strategies, and finding partnerships within your brand. A lot of people think you have to have a lot of different followers and these big numbers before you can start working with brands, and that's just simply not the case. You can start working with people immediately, and I'm going to showcase where you guys can go afterwards to start signing yourself up to get these branded sponsorships. So you definitely want to have your notebooks ready. This is going to be a lot of tools that you guys can take when you go home. So we've been busy at Average Black Girl. Right now we have about a 30,000 reach every month, and one of our biggest platforms is Facebook and LinkedIn, but we're going to touch on a little bit of everything. So we generate revenue by online courses, web design, we have a membership course, consulting, and sponsored posts. How I go to market is I partner personally, my goal is to partner with major publications. So I'm a blogger for blackdoctor.org, and they have over 1 million subscribers on Facebook. And so for me, whenever I blog for them, not only is it a paid opportunity, but I get a lot of traffic from their site to my site. So I want you guys to, one, start thinking about who are some of your partnership goals that you would want to market with. And then I'm going to actually show you how you can get ready for them. But you don't have to have a lot of followers. Again, like I'm okay, I'm a really small to medium-sized business at this point, but I've been able to get some of these really big partnerships just because I look the part. So and that's what branding is. Branding is looking the part. You don't have to, if you look like money, you'll get money. But if you look like you're trying to do it yourself and figure it out, people won't respect you. I also have a podcast where I've had Tawilla on, so we're on everywhere, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and then social media. So a lot of businesses now are on social media, and a lot of them, their goal is to not only find different businesses and help you develop your business, but for me, my goal is to help you with your business, but also help you as an influencer, because people forget, as your business grows, so does your individual branded clout. And your individual branded clout now has value. Because social media isn't going anywhere, there is money with these likes, and there is even more money when you have engagement. Here are just some of the companies that I worked with. So, you know, people want to know your receipts, so I'm just showing you. I'm basically telling you exactly what they've learned. I worked in so many different brands, and everything is the same. People are consistent. People have some sort of sale or some sort of way to entice you. People showcase their success stories, and then they repeat. So, of course, afterwards, I would love to not only connect with you. So with Average Black Girl, we are a blogger platform where we encourage people to utilize our platform to build their brand. So I'm looking for guest bloggers to blog about whatever you're talking about. So let's make sure that we connect before we're done. Okay, so let's get into this. In this lesson, you're going to learn a live audit. We're going to go through some of the things that I look for and that I talk about when clients come to me and they're like, Danielle, can you rate my brand? Let's give you some examples. So not only will we do that, but I'm going to give you some social media tools. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about website and web development. A lot of times people have a brand and don't have a website, and that is a huge miss. Why? Because I need to know who you are, and I need to make sure that you are legit. In the world of social media, there are scammers, right? So how do I know that I want to work with you and that I'm not being scammed? Well, a website, reviews by people that have actual profiles, those will save you so much time, and a lot of times that will have people not have what we call buyer's remorse. You don't want to get somebody to give you money and then they immediately regret it and then they want a refund before you can even get started. We're going to talk about paid partnerships and goal setting. So the first thing is goal setting. So starting a business can be super hard and it's sometimes overwhelming, especially when money's not coming in every week or every day. So here are some of the things that I like to do. One, I like to have a list of what I want to complete for maybe the month or even the year. After you do that, you want to break it down for what you're going to do per week. So I like to say I like to complete 3 things each week. Now 3 things can be 3 new things. Maybe I want to learn a tool. Maybe I want to create some video content. Maybe I want to reach out to 20 different branded partnerships that day or that week. So if you break down what your goal is and just do 3, then for me, when I am overwhelmed and then I don't do something, then I get into my head. So now I'm like, man, I wish I would have been so productive, but no, I'm not, and then I do nothing. Now I'm watching TV, and it goes down a spiral. So instead, what I'll do is I'll make sure that I have 3 things that I complete. As long as I have 3 things that I complete, I'm moving the needle. Now, if I'm super productive and I have 20 things, I'm proud of myself. But if I have a really big week and I'm working on work and client work and I don't have my stuff, at least I hit those 3 things and I'm still moving the needle. So what does that mean in real life? Well, for me, I like to do things in days. So Monday and Sunday is really planning for the week, and Monday is for my business, Average Black Girl. Tuesday is client work, so web design, booking people for marketing strategies and things like that. Then I can see how I can really schedule the rest of my week, because come Friday, people are going to be looking for deadlines. Is the project finished that I paid you for, or what's our update and things like that. So if you wait until Friday to start working on your client work, then you'll have some issues with people not being satisfied with your work or your communication. So the next thing is you want to have landmarks that you identify with. So if you want 1,000 more followers on social media, you need to break that down to what that looks like per week. So that you know by week 2, if you don't have 500, then you know that you're not going to hit your goal. A lot of people will just be doing whatever they're doing and then look up and be upset that they didn't make their goal. But if you knew that you weren't hitting your metrics week after week, then you know that you could change something. And that's ultimately what you want to do. You want to keep yourself compatible, and you want to make sure that you know what's working and what's not. A lot of times people will just hand off social media to someone else, and how do you know if they're taking advantage of you? How do you know if your goals are being met if you have no idea what's going on, what's the goals, why you're even paying someone to help you? And the last thing is you want to celebrate your wins. People forget, being an entrepreneur, sometimes you're doing something that no one in your family has done before, or no one, period, if it's a brand new concept. So what you're doing is extraordinary, and you want to make sure that you celebrate yourself. Now, what does that look like? It can be something super small, like lipstick or nail polish, or it can be something super big, like a huge camera that you're ready to invest in. You just want to make sure that you're doing something. Why? Because a lot of studies are showing that in the world of entrepreneur, there's a lot of depression, there's a lot of issues with confidence and things like that. And so if you have these steps inside to combat that, then you'll you'll be sure to always have that confidence and always keep moving. Because ultimately what they don't tell you is that when you're an entrepreneur, it's really you that's keeping it going. If you have a down week, if you don't fix that, you can have a down month. And then you're in a really bad place. So now we're going to talk about the website. So some of the common website do's and don'ts. The first thing I want to talk about is your freebie. Now, a lot of times people don't touch on this, and it's super important. Why? Because the freebie is what's going to get people that don't know you to support your business. And that's ultimately what we want, right? What do our friends and families want? Discounts. Discounts don't pay bills, right? So you need to find someone that knows you from Adam that is going to pay you at the price that you have on your site and not ask questions. So how do you do that? Well, because humans are selfish. I'm not going to give you my information unless I'm getting something of value. So big stores like Macy's and all those, they have coupons. They can give monetary value that you can get. However, you don't need to do that to create a freebie. So what can you create? You can create either something that is of value, I say between 25 and 50 US dollars, that is with your brand. So for me, with marketing, my freebie used to be a how to make your LinkedIn irresistible worksheet. So it has a checklist of what you need to do from your profile to completing your post to an automation tool. I think that value is about $50, but when people sign up, it's a download. So it's nothing of value that I'm sending. A lot of people go to, I'm going to give t-shirts or pins, but if you're not making money yet, that's just an additional cost, and you haven't guaranteed anyone that they're going to actually close the deal and make a sale. So I want to take this time to throw out some freebies that we can do for some existing businesses. So who wants to tell me what their business is, and we'll come up with a freebie? Anyone who has a business? Okay, what's your business?
Social media management.
Okay.
Social media management for corporate institutions.
Okay, so social media marketing management. So in order for your clients to be ready to work with you, they're going to want to need a couple of things. What are their branding colors? They're going to know what are the 3 things that they want to be known for. They want to know, you're going to want to know their like mood board. So what are some of the stock images that they have? So you need things before someone is even ready to work with you. So I think what you can put is a checklist on how to get ready for a social marketing management team. So you can put maybe 10 to 15 items that people need with some links and resources so that you can be prepared, right? I think that is something that is of value, and you're really niche, which is amazing. I'm only looking for that information if I've already decided that I need to work with you or someone like you. So with the freebie, what are you showing? You're showing that you're an expert in what you're talking about. You're also showing that, hey, you could have found this information if maybe you spent 8 to 15 hours on the web, but you didn't. And so because I didn't, you saved me time, you saved me money, and it was a value of about $25 to $50. Now I feel more confident spending maybe $300 a month with you or $1,000 a month with you. So you're showcasing that out of all the millions of social media marketing people that you gave me value, I now have trust. Now I'm ready to work with you, and not just one time, but long term. Is there anybody else that wants to throw out their business? Okay, we'll move on. So, you want to have with your freebie, now that we created it, you want to make sure that you have it on your website and you have it easy for people to receive.
Sure.
Yes.
I think there's somebody who wants to throw her business out there. Do you have the mic around? Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm into HR consultancy and recruitment services.
Okay. So HR consultancy, that is something that you can do different type of ways, right? If I'm a person looking for a job, then you can give me a freebie of what I need to get ready for that job. So, you can have things like how to create a better resume, so that when I work with you, it's a lot easier for an onboarding process. For the companies, you can say, hey, this is what I need for you to provide me a list of what exactly is that you need to hire. So if you're showcasing, if I'm a new job, right? So if I'm a major company like Coca-Cola, I have in-house HR. So you're really working for somebody that is either small to medium that doesn't know what's going on. So I'm coming to you, I need help, but I need you to show me how to get ready for you so that it'll be a smooth process. So those are two ways that I think will showcase not only that you know what you're doing, but it's something that you can use to make it easier for people to work for you anyway. So you're making it work both ways. It's easier for you to onboard, you're showing trust, and that'll be an easier way for other people. Also, look at your competitors. If your competitors don't have a freebie and you do, that's just putting you above the fold. But if people do, which most do, you want to look and see what they're doing, make sure you're within industry. So some industries don't do as much, and you can stand out like a superstar a lot easier. But a lot of industries are now starting to do things, so you want to look at who it is. For me, even though I am a small brand, I'm always looking at my industry leaders, right? There's nothing wrong with looking to see what's working and then just changing it with your style and your ideas and making it better. You're working smarter, not harder, and it's not copying, it's staying within the industry. So now, okay, I told you we created what it is. Now we're gonna figure out where to put it. So do you remember like an old newspaper, right? The prime ad is above the fold, so before you fold down. So now on websites, it's before you scroll. Because if you have your goodies at the very bottom of the website, and I'm brand new to you and maybe found you from a blog or just stumbling, I may not make it to the bottom of the website. And so a lot of people will have in the footer part of the website to join your newsletter and things like that, but people don't make it. So I want to show you mine. So the top of my slide is just like a little header, and then right here, I'm ready to get you. I'm showcasing you what my opt-in is. I'm making it super easy for you, and then we can go into what I am. Because some people may have just found me, but other people might have been referred to me. So if you already want me, I'm gonna make it easier for you to get to where I need to go, which is buying a product, or contacting me, or emailing me so we can get you offline and on the phone. Okay, the next thing that a lot of people are missing is you gotta connect your analytics. You gotta know where people are from, and you gotta figure out how to do it. Now, the easiest and free way to do it is to do it through Google Analytics. All you need is a Gmail account, which is free to have, and you can connect it. And then you can know where are people coming, what time, what is the best thing that people are using for you. For me, I have 3 major blogs that bring in my content. So what do I do with those blogs? We got lots of opt-ins, we got lots of clicks, and then we post that every month. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. Analytics is telling me what's working and what's not, and then I'm ready to go. Okay, now we're gonna talk about social media. So these are things that you need with social media on any platform, but I'm gonna touch on different platforms, and then you guys can figure out what works best for you, right? I always say you don't need to be everywhere, but you do need to be somewhere, and you need to do it well. So you want to have a call to action. If you're posting and you're just posting for posting, you're wasting time. You need to have people tell you, you need to tell people what to do. So if you are an HR person and you just are saying, hey, I'm at this meeting, great, but you need to say, opt in for my freebie, or click the link for more and have a blog post or something. You gotta tell people what to do, because if I'm engaged and I like your picture, I like you enough to stop and like something, so tell me what else you want me to do. And the next thing is you want to utilize one subject at a time. So one thing that a lot of people do is they're like, okay, I have a month, I need to talk about something. What do I talk about? Well, for me, I always say that one blog post or one long rant or one topic should work for the entire week. That one blog post should then turn into a link that you put share on LinkedIn. That should then turn into a Facebook Live. That should then turn into an Instagram Live. That should then turn into 3 different pictures that you can put on Instagram. So then you didn't really take that much time planning, right? It shouldn't take you a whole Sunday to figure it out if you, 1, know what you're doing, and 2, are specific enough to then utilize that on other platforms. You don't need to have one topic on Facebook, one topic on Instagram, one topic on Twitter. That's so much much going on and it's unnecessary because you are talking to different people on each platform. The same person is most likely not going to be following you on every platform. So first, let's talk about LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, I do have a 3-day course for you guys that's on averageblackgirl.com. But the 3 things I want you to do, I want you to fill out a profile and complete it. And so we're going to show you my profile. Then we're going to talk about the content that you need to post. And lastly, there's an automation that I use for messages, which is on LinkedIn. So we're going to go through all of that. So the first thing is right here, the header. Now, if you don't have a header, it'll be blue. And that's just the standard LinkedIn blue. Now, I suggest that everybody should change it because it showcases that you're not really on the site. So, have it in 3 different ways. 1, have a picture of you in your element. So do you have a picture of you speaking? Or if you're teaching, do you have a picture of you teaching? Do you have a picture of you with a business meeting or something like that? If you don't, that's fine. Use the picture with your most famous person, right? So if I had a picture with Oprah, I would have just put that up there because regardless of why I met her or what the reason was, people are going to automatically associate that because it's on LinkedIn with being business and that I know what's going on. If you don't have that, then if you go to averageblackgirl.com and just put in the search stock, I have a lot of free stock images that you guys can have access to. So maybe you want to have a picture of a computer with the black hands by it. And maybe you want to have a desk with a book and a notebook and things like that. Just something professional that showcases a tiny bit of your personality, but it's just on par with what you're doing, right? So if I was a fashion designer, then I would have some of my actual products on there. If I was in beauty, I would have maybe an array of makeup. If I'm in consulting, I would have a laptop and a briefcase. So it just depends on what you're doing. Still make it professional, but you can kind of switch around. Now the next part is the bio part. Now a lot of people don't have a bio part, but you have to understand. While I'm scrolling, trying to just connect with people, before I click on you, that's all I see. Especially on the phone. On the phone, all you see is the bio part, and a lot of people don't have that. And so with your bio, you should have your links, you should have what your services are and everything, because I don't know if I want to even connect with you yet for you to be putting everything in your profile. So that's the next thing. The next thing I want to talk about is the actual content. So you can post on LinkedIn either video, you can publish an article, or you can share a post. Now, if you share a post or post a video, you get more analytics, more people see it. However, with an article, that stays forever. And for some reason, LinkedIn has some sort of thing that they've done with the search engines that your articles, when people search your name, pop up. So how cool would it be if people, when they search your name, they see articles of you talking about the subject that you're an expert in? That's going to make it a lot easier for people to know that I'm trying to choose you. It'll load. At the bottom, there's reviews and recommendations. So why do you want recommendations? You want recommendations because this is your personal Yelp page. As a business owner, your website, your bells and whistles is going to attract me, but then I need to see that you are doing well working with other people. So for me, I like to showcase that I can work with a diverse group of people. So I make sure that I don't want to have just black young women on my site. I want to have older black people. I want to have white people. I want to have Asian people. I want to have Indian people. I want to make sure that they showcase. I want somebody to look at my site and to find somebody that looks like them, that went to school where they went to, that thinks like them, that talks like them, and that see that they were happy. Because if they find their quote-unquote demographic, then they'll be more likely to buy. And that is the same thing that other brands do. When you have ads, they'll find somebody that looks like the target that they're wanting to be with, and they will showcase that. Then you'll be like, oh, let me go buy whatever because it was a dope commercial and it spoke to me. You want to do the same thing on LinkedIn with that. And this can work for anything. If you're looking for a new job, you want to make sure that your stuff is good. If you want to expand and have a new partnership with an existing company, you want to make sure your thing is good because that's what people look at. They're checking out your LinkedIn and then they'll invite you for an interview. So the last thing that I want to talk about is this LinkedIn Helper. So LinkedIn Helper, I'm all about the free, so it has like a 14-day free trial. It is a Google Chrome extension, so you can only use it with the Google Chrome. So what you can do is you're going to want to hit collect, and then you're going to go to the LinkedIn search page. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so what you want to do is you're going to go to collect. When you go to collect, you're going to able to We're going to collect, you're going to be able to click whatever it is that you want as far as connecting with different people. So I'm going to actually stop this real quick and scroll up to the top. So when you scroll up to the top, you're going to have these filters. So you're going to be able to choose your filter. Now you can choose your filter by location, so you can put in Ghana. So you can put in Ghana, and then you can decide if you want to do current companies, you can decide if you want to do schools, you can do first name, last name, title. So if you're looking to just talk to marketing people in Ghana, then you can just put in marketing. After that, you're going to go ahead and hit apply. Once you hit apply, you're going to start collecting. And it's going to automatically just collect individuals. It's going to do 10 per page. So just let this run for about an hour, and then you're good to go. You have so many people. After that, you're going to go down to message. And you're going to create your custom message. So I already pre-made one that says hello first name. So anytime it says the name, it's going to put the first name. I'm looking to connect with professionals in Ghana. After that, you're going to switch from collect and inviting to messaging. So you're going to go and hit invite. Now it's hitting this person. It's not only inviting him, but then it's going to send a message. So I actually just let this thing run while I'm asleep, and then I wake up and I've invited hundreds of people. And then throughout the month, they'll start accepting as people turn in, because LinkedIn is very situational. People will go on if they're looking for something. If I'm looking for a job, looking for a partner, so people are going to see that every day, but this is something that I definitely think, again, you can work smarter and not harder. I am probably on LinkedIn probably an hour a month, and I'm almost at 10,000 followers. And I've had lots of success speaking engagements. I've had customers, clients. When you know who you're talking to and you're really niche, it's a lot easier. So for you, with the HR link in the back, you'll want to just talk to companies and even just connect to those HR people and say, hey, I'm looking to be a contractor or whatever. Then it's a lot less, oh, I'm not looking for, I'm not interested. You're talking to exactly who you're supposed to be talking to. Any questions on this? Okay. So the next one is going to be Facebook. So people, and one more thing for LinkedIn. LinkedIn is important because 44% of LinkedIn users make over $75,000. So if you're looking for your next paid partner, business relationship or something like that, you definitely want to be on LinkedIn. Now Facebook, everyone is on Facebook, so of course you want to be there, but unlike, or very similar to LinkedIn, with your Facebook, you want to make sure that you have reviews. Again, people are going to be checking you out. So if you have no reviews, start with a number that you know that you can meet. Maybe you want to have 3 reviews per month, maybe 10 if you can really get it, and look at what your industry is doing. If your industry has 100 reviews, then you know you're going to be working on this for the year. But if your industry has 12, then you can do this in about 3 to 6 months, and you're now on par. So one thing that you want to do is you want to either create a group or join groups. So for me, I do have a group, but I'm also a group joiner. Why? Because there are groups for any type of demographic. So again, if you know what you're talking about, you can get in there. So for me, I'm not a mother, but I'm in a lot of mom groups. Why? Moms are my biggest audience because they relate to me, and I make things that are geared toward them. I kind of talk to their messaging. So instead of me creating a group and trying to invite all these moms, just go and join the mom groups in whatever area, and then you're good to go. So for me, that is a lot easier. That's my one and my hacks. And for me, what I'm noticing is that within Facebook, they're always changing their algorithm. So it was announced, I want to say 3 months ago, that they were going back to the personal page being the most dominant. So you're going to have to be on Facebook on your personal page. So if you're shy or you're scared, you're going to have to get over it because Facebook personal pages are back. With that being said, Facebook groups are starting to get more traction than Facebook fan pages. So So that's a way that you can kind of get around that. So why? I don't know, but I can only assume that it's because within groups, they're made for people to communicate and join together. So with that being said, you want to make sure that you are in some groups. And if your groups are not making you money or don't have the type of traction that you're looking for, leave them. You don't have to have a whole bunch, but you do have to have the right kind. Now, going live is something that, especially in America, going live is something that is here to stay. There has been a whole bunch of trials that people have been doing for starting pages that are brand new, that have no followers at all, and literally only going live, and those live videos are starting to get more and more traction than existing pages. So that means that they're actually pushing them, and they're pushing them for free because they want more people to use them. So if you're not on them, now is the time, because who knows, by Christmas, it may be something new that they're pulling out that they're going to push. But right now, that is what's happening. And so that's when I went back to my 3. If you know what you're good at, and you know that you're good at 3 things, people can remember that. If you're the jack of all trades, I'm not gonna be able to remember that because I'm not in your business every day. I'm in my business. And so if I can't remember what you do, how can I then recommend you? Going live is something that you're gonna wanna do on Facebook and you're gonna wanna do on LinkedIn. And one of the main things is when you go live, make sure to add your links inside the live video. A lot of people forget that. And that's a way to, one, you can use your freebie link, you can sell something, just do something, because what do people need? A call to action. And the last thing that I'm noticing is that when you share articles, they are an article that's getting a lot of shares naturally, great. But if your article is not getting a lot of shares, what I'm noticing is that if you put an image, like maybe the header image from the article, and then put the link in the first comment, Facebook is starting to push that more. Why are they pushing that more? Because Facebook wants you to stay on Facebook. So for me, I'm noticing for the organic route that is something that is starting to be pushed as well. So these are just some hacks if you don't have a budget or if you have a smaller budget that I would definitely go ahead and do. Now for Instagram. Instagram is the fastest growing social media platform within the last 3 years. So if you're not on Instagram, you definitely want to get on Instagram. So in Instagram, there are a lot of different things that you can do. The first thing that you want to make sure is what type of layouts are you going to have. There are different types of layouts for different type of themes. So some layouts are just a topic. If you are food, then you're just posting about food. If you are beauty, then you're just talking about beauty. But then it goes another step. You can do a layout where some people do a post, a quote, a post, a quote, and then when you look at it all together, it looks nice and uniform. Some people do post, post, quote. It just all depends on what you're looking for. Other people use color schemes where they're only using shades of blue or black or purple. So you really want to take your time to think about what your overall message is going to be and not just be like, oh, I need to post. You need to know what your plan is, which is why I said on Sunday and Monday, I'm planning so that things look right and in order. Going live is helpful. IGTV has been launched. So again, you want to make sure that they're just showing you that video is king. And Facebook has purchased Instagram, so the same thing that I was telling you before applies for this one. The next thing is your stories. So I'm noticing that people are starting to go live on their stories every day. And why? Because that counts as traction. And you can now use hashtags within stories. There's new things that they're pushing out with that. So the main overall thing that I'm trying to tell you is video content is here to stay. And it's something that everybody needs to get used to. Now Pinterest. Pinterest is now the second largest search engine outside of Google. So it's beat Yahoo and all those other ones. So with that being said, Pinterest is something that you definitely want to be on, especially if you are on one of those sites where you're selling something. If you're selling clothes, especially African garb, that is something that you have to be on. Why? Because Pinterest is more women-focused than men-focused. And studies are showing that women are the ones that are buying when it comes to like household goods and things like that. So your audience is right there. And they can be anywhere. Now the hack with Pinterest is you want to have some boards for your brands, but you need to join group boards. That is the way that you get the traffic. You join group boards because group boards have a rule. You share one, you post one, you share one, you post one, you share one. And if you don't, you get kicked out. So that is how people are having 40,000, 20,000, 80,000 views per month to their web blogs is because they're on Pinterest. It's not because they have all these subscribers or anything like that. It's because they're sharing within these groups, and then people are sharing and sharing and sharing. So this is something that you can do for free, right? You can join a group for free. You don't have to boost a pin or anything like that. So me, I've had personal success of having 30,000 monthly visitors on my Pinterest, and that just going to lots of different places, different countries, different backgrounds and groups that I have no connection with, but they just like the post, or we are in the same group. So if people are looking for different groups, I do have a website page on my brand, which is called Resources for Bloggers, and so I have a lot of different links and tools for you guys. So the next thing is showing you the money, because it's not fun if your funds don't grow. So here are some tools that you can use to not only expand your reach, but to get different speaking engagements and things like that. So now that you have a brand, you have to have, again, more people meet you. So one is Speaker Hub. Speaker Hub is a free platform that you can sign up, create your branded speaker profile, and then apply for events. There are events all over the world, so there's events in Africa, Europe, USA, they're everywhere. And you can decide if they are free or not, it just all depends. Same thing with Medium. Medium and Blog11 are different platforms that are like Facebook for bloggers. So if you have a website or a story that you want to get out to the masses, if there's a think piece that you want to write and you don't have a website, you use those and then people will read it, and you decide what subject it is, and then like-minded people find you. So I've had a lot of friends write about a celebrity and how that may have affected them or something like that, and the celebrity will follow them, because this is, again, a platform where you don't have to follow people. So it's not like Facebook. Like, if I want to talk about Beyonce, I would probably have better luck talking and posting about her on Medium than on Facebook, because we're not friends and she's not gonna see it. So that's the one thing that I would definitely do. Now, FameBit is another org but you have to have over 5,000 followers to even apply. And this is how a lot of these YouTubers are making all this money. So FameBit is one of those things that Nike is on there. A lot of different companies from all over the world are on there, and they'll say, hey, I'll give you a pair of Nike shoes, and I'll also pay you $1,500 to post and make a video about it. But you gotta have 5,000 first. So I want you guys to focus on your followers, and then when you're there, I can definitely tell you about some platforms to definitely make some money, some really good money. The next thing I want to talk to you about is affiliate links. So people don't think about affiliate links. You can't give out your juice for free, and if you do, make sure you get paid on the back end. So if someone was like, Danielle, where did you get your shoes? What I just said